breakfast of champs right here. Breakfast sausage, egg, and cheese thingy. What's up, guy? All right, we're all ready.
Let's get it.
Let's hit the water. Let's catch some lobster.
Ramsey Fisher here, and welcome back to my channel. So quick recap. I drove down to Marathon in the Florida Keys with my dad and great longtime friend Sawyer for a week trip.
All right, help me load this
guy. You ready yet?
Our main objective was lobster. Regular season had opened several days before our arrival, and we were thrilled to be jumping in the water with a bunch of bugs.
We'll see you at the house.
The boys have made it. Sawyer, let's do
Smells like
some
lobsters around here.
smells like lobsters.
Super excited to make it down here. Weather looks good. Hopefully we're gonna have a great week.
And I mean a bunch of bugs. Nests full of these tasty cockroaches of the sea.
I can't even get them out.
More specifically, we were staying in Key Colony Beach in Marathon, Florida, and on this day we made an easy run through Vaca Cut and headed northeast through the Gulf waters to reach Duck Key and the bridges and rocks of that area. Duck Key is a popular lobster and fishing destination because it offers plenty of structure for these aquatic creatures to dwell in and around. Between bridge pilings, rocky bottom features, and large boulder shorelines, this area is a great place to get in the water as long as you pay attention to the tide and use caution as any diver should around bridges. Today, we are diving with the Brownie third lung, and yes, we hit our limit.
I'll take you guys down there with me.
While diving, we did stumble upon a lot of lobster that were just shy of the required size limit, but these still offered us a challenge as we went about searching for the biggest pumpkin in the pumpkin patch. And by pumpkin, I mean lobster. Water clarity was also a bit more limited in this area in comparison to our oceanside dive spots, but that was to be expected. However, the current was ripping at times, but it didn't stop us from finding our targets, 6 per person to be exact. Duck Key is a great place to lobster and is super accessible by boat or by land. So if you're ever in the area and new to lobstering, this is a good place to start.
I don't know if this is working or not. Morning, everybody. We are up. This is day 2, and I can see the TV of the guy across the lake. I guess it's more like a pond canal. Yeah. So you can, and this guy's got the biggest TV. But day 2 here, our first full day here. And I already did an intro, but it was kind of dark, so I don't know if that'll actually work. Guys. Morning, everybody. It is quite breezy first thing in the morning, and honestly it looks a lot like last night, just in the morning. But we are gonna see what the weather has in store for us, and if this footage is any good, because it's pretty dark still. But I'm enjoying my morning coffee. If I can not drop this mug on the dock. But super excited to get out and see what day 2 has in store for us. Technically it's day 1. We got here yesterday, but we'll call it day 2. But fast forward, it's like 6:40, 6:50. Boat made it. Quality looks good. Sawyer's alive. We're gonna see what we're up to today. It's a little breezy, so who knows if we're gonna go offshore kind of like we wanted to. We really want to get the Aquanaut running today. Start running the Brownie and do some diving with it. But we'd like to do some spearfishing too. And yesterday we didn't see anything really worth spearfishing, but we saw some stuff that was worth using the Aquanaut for lobster. So we're just gonna, you know, start packing up some gear and see what the weather does. And right now it looks like we're gonna be hiding in the bay unless things change. But yeah, see what happens. We gotta redeem ourselves with shark fishing.
Yeah. Shark fishing was a little slow last night.
We did not get a single bite shark fishing last night, but maybe we'll get some better bait and catch something today.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe and get notified when the remainder of my Keys trip footage gets uploaded. I upload every Sunday evening and have a bunch of other great fishing content.
Breakfast of champs right here. Let's catch some lobster.
So leaving the northern side of Key Colony Beach, we have to ride around the island in order to reach Vaca Cut. Fortunately, it's a short trip around the neighborhood, and we quickly saw that we made a good choice in choosing to dive Gulf waters, as a moderate chop was moving across the Atlantic waters. But as this was our first full day on the water, we were just excited to be headed out. The proximity of Vaca Cut to Key Colony Beach is one of the reasons why we preferred to stay here. Once through Vaca Cut, it was an easy, quick, and comfortable ride to Duck Key.
Alrighty guys, we are about to drop the aquanaut, the brownie third lung, for the first time this trip. Sawyer and I are about to dive down, and we just got a bridge here, so we're gonna see what we can find. We found a bunch of lobster here yesterday. Hopefully there's a bunch more today. And hopefully my camera works, I'll take you guys down there with me.
As we started this dive, we unfortunately drifted away from our intended target. This combined with a stronger than expected current, and we found ourselves in our first obstacle fighting against the current. Fortunately, the lobster were around every corner, and we just needed to find the right sized bugs. The bottom here included scattered rock and sand with algae growth and some crevices within the rocky bottom. It was critical to always have something to hold on to as we made our way around in order to hold our position and not be swept away by the current. As we crept along the bottom, more and more lobsters were spotted, and this snare was our preferred method of capturing the lobster. The snare serves as a tickle stick, but also allows you the opportunity to snare the tail of the lobster, making quick work of capturing them. We did also carry a net and tickle stick, but the snare was perfect for working in tight spaces. The lobster were scattered amongst the bottom and primarily held to these larger scattered rocks, but more often than not, they were just undersized. Lobster need to have a 3-inch carapace length to be large enough to keep, so you will often see us find lobster and leave them be because they were noticeably too small. As they get closer to keeper size, the only true way to tell is to catch them and check. As we crept underneath this bridge, the bottom type became more rocky, and the lobster held to the crevices or small holes in the rock. This is their preferred habitat as it offers protection from predators like big fish and sea turtles, and people like us. This is a perfect example of how the snare is a better tool at times than the net method due to the small area to capture the lobster from. The snare is able to enter narrow crevices and retrieve the lobster, but it takes some time to master for sure. Lobster move around primarily at night and prefer the safety in numbers, so if you find one lobster, chances are high there may be more around if there is enough structure to hide them. Diving Duck Key with the brownie third lung is a great way to lobster, as you can easily make your way along the bottom looking for these guys without having to surface and dive over and over again, as you would need to when snorkeling. This is even more beneficial when visibility is limited like it was on this day around Duck Key. Let me know if you have any questions about the brownie third lung, as I may share a walkthrough video of it. I have been using these for many years and they have always worked great. And while finding the lobster is certainly half the battle, you can certainly lose them too if you're not always on top of your game. At times, Sawyer and I would work together to tickle out the lobster and then net them where there was space, as this is an easier method than the snare. Just make sure to grab the lobster before they swim out. This in itself can be a challenge. As always, measure each lobster to make sure they are the appropriate size, but when you catch a larger one, it might just be obvious. This lobster didn't find a rock hideout, but instead buried beneath a mound of algae. As we continued to search for lobster in this area, we moved into some larger boulders nearby and began to snorkel. There was an abundance of baitfish in this area, and we even spotted some snook and tarpon. When measuring lobster, be sure to place your measuring tool right between their horns and behind their eyes. This lobster was large enough and it made its way into the lobster hotel. While on this trip, I was fortunate to dive with another good friend, Cheryl, who loves the coastal lifestyle and also has a great eye for these lobsters, which typically hide their bodies, leaving only their antenna to be spotted. Working together, we were able to net a handful of lobster, even if they were on the small side. Cheryl would hold the net while I tickled them out, and we made a pretty efficient team. Sometimes the net and stick weren't necessary though, and I could make quick work of catching them barehanded. This is scenario dependent, as some lobster aren't as easily captured by hand. Thanks again, Cheryl, for jumping in with us and grabbing some bugs.
Yeah, we need ice. For tomorrow.
Alrighty, we got our limit, guys. 3-person limit, 6 lobster a person, 18 lobster. We're done today. Feels good to get our limit, so we're gonna pack up, make our way back to the house, and hopefully find some bait on the way so that we have plenty of bait for fishing off the dock. But pretty good day.
Once back to the dock, I like to ice down the lobster before cleaning them.
Phillips screwdriver on it? No.
Alright guys, we got our lobster today. 6 per person, so we have a 3-person limit. And I'll show you how I clean lobsters. You're gonna want gloves because they got spikes everywhere. But we usually put them on ice for a little bit. And then we take a knife. We just go through the inside, the back of the shell, and then pull it out. You twist as you pull it out. And then heads, you just toss over. Because I don't have an antenna, I'll borrow one. This is how we devein them. People have tools for them, but we just use the antenna. And then you just pull it right out. Just like that. Be the fishies. Now you got a nice lovely lobster tail.
Keep an eye out for a comprehensive catch, clean, and cook video where I walk through these steps and how we make our classic lobster and steak dinner. Don't forget the garlic bread.
Alright everybody, we are going to commence some dock fishing. My buddy Sawyer's trying to catch the absolute biggest thing he possibly can. So that'll be entertaining. And I wouldn't mind catching a tarpon, even some nice snapper for some extra fish for the fish fry sometime. But first night here in the Keys, we're staying in Marathon. Oh, Sawyer, right off the dock, right off the corner. Tarpon, right off the corner. Go, 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 cast. Don't fall. Hurry. Let me know if you get a bite. But yeah, so first night, so we're gonna see what we can do. It's gonna get dark soon. We're gonna see what bites.
As always, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please subscribe and be on the lookout for more videos from our Keys trip. Ramsey Fisher here. I'll catch you later.
Hooking up, Scooter.
Guys hooked up.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got one.
Walk around the boat, guy.
Go towards the mid guy. He's got you. Yeah. That feel good, guy?
Oh, yeah.